Welcome to the Texas Association for College Admissions Counseling Virtual College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. My name is Anna and I'll be your facilitator. Before we get started, a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the schedule on the website. And this presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Texas. Now I'd like to turn it over to our first presenter from Macquarie University, Sydney. Take it away.
Awesome. Hi everyone, my name is Leanne Allen and I represent Macquarie University, which is in Sydney, Australia. Sydney is a stunning city, as you can see here. It's home to 8 million people. Australia is also home to 25 million people total, so a very different landscape to the United States, even though geographically it is the same size. As a student at Macquarie, you have the best of all worlds, that big cosmopolitan city experience with the awesome beaches, as you can see here. This is Bondi Beach, one of our most famous beaches in Australia. And fun fact for you, if you saw one new beach in Australia every day, it would take you 27 years to see them all. So there is a lot of Australia to explore. From the beaches, you can retreat back to campus, which is a stunning Parklands University. We're home to 40,000 students, and of that, there are 12,000 international students. So an incredibly diverse student population, which is certainly one of my favourite things about it. Being a student at Macquarie is somewhat similar to studying in the US in terms of the student experience and what you can expect. You're just on the other side of the world. We have over 130 clubs and associations for you to join. So you're able to join as many as you would like. I definitely recommend students joining 3 or 4. And then in the beginning and choosing which ones you like from that. That first photo there is our Mac Warrior. We are named after the 5th Governor of New South Wales, who was Scottish, hence why the mascot is in the Scottish field. That second photo there is one of 2 swimming pools that we have on campus. And I do like to point out our weather does allow a year-round outdoor swimming pool. If it's below 60 degrees in winter, we'll complain it's too cold. If it's above 90 degrees in summer, we'll complain it's too hot. So we do like a very Mediterranean temperate climate in Sydney. So not humid like you would find in Texas. It's quite dry heat. If you think you'd like somewhere with the snow, you can find snowfields about 3 hours out of Sydney. We have 24-hour, 7-day-a-week support services available for students. So if you are feeling a bit homesick and you want to speak to a professional, if you've been out and you have lost your wallet or purse and you need to borrow some emergency money, the university is there to support you. We also have a strong innovation spirit at the university, and that middle bottom photo there is our incubator hub. So if you have an entrepreneurial idea that you would like to bring to life, you can go to the Incubator Hub and they will certainly help you in that endeavour. Degrees in Australia, similar to the UK and New Zealand, are actually 3 years in duration. We don't have general education requirements. So you basically need to know what you want to study at the time of application, and then you do that major for the 3 years. There is some room to try different things. So if you're doing sciences, you want to pick up a couple of English classes, you are more than welcome to do that. But if you're doing creative writing and you never want to do a math class again, that's totally okay as well. Our most popular classes are accounting, international business, and business administration. We are really strong in media and communications, as well as criminology, cybersecurity, and counterterrorism. We specialise in software and telecommunications engineering, and fun fact for you, we actually invented Wi-Fi, so you're welcome. And we also have really strong earth and environmental sciences. So if you're thinking climate change, which is obviously very topical at the moment, or sustainable development, Macquarie and Sydney is also a great place for that. And finally, our flagship program is our Bachelor of Clinical Science, Doctor of Medicine degree, which is a 6-year program out of high school where you can become a doctor. And at the end of that program, you are able to do clinical rotations at Dartmouth College and Washington St. Louis top 10 US medical schools to help you move back into the US system if that's what you would like to do. Being a student at Macquarie, you can certainly live on campus. It's not guaranteed or compulsory, but as long as you apply early, you shouldn't have any problems to do so. Generally speaking, you will have your own bedroom. Australians find it funny that Americans share bedrooms in college, so it's quite rare to share a bedroom. You may also have your own bathroom, depending on which option you do choose. Some providers do have meal plans, but unlike the US, it's associated with the accommodation as opposed to the entire university. So if the thought of cooking 3 meals a day for your first year sounds miserable, make sure you choose an option that does have a meal plan involved in it. So how much does it all cost? Hopefully you'll see that it's actually not that expensive to study overseas. It's quite comparable to an in-state public school. Our tuition is around $25,000 per year. And the living costs average about $15,000. We recommend if students have access to $40,000, they can certainly live comfortably in Australia. When you remember most of our degrees are 3 years in duration, it can be really attractive. You're also able to work while studying. A minimum wage is $20 an hour, which can be pretty helpful. We also have merit-based scholarships, and you can use US financial aid to help support your studies in Australia. It's free to apply to the university, and we are currently test optional due to COVID-19, so we will just assess your GPA for entry into the degree. We don't require essays or recommendation letters, so it's very much a very straightforward, transparent process for students. You can apply at any time in your senior year. Just submit that application, which takes about 10 to 15 minutes to complete. You'll get an outcome within about 2 weeks of submitting that application. Then you can accept your place in the program, apply for scholarships, financial aid, accommodation, organise your visa, and get your flights to Australia. Being in the Southern Hemisphere, our dates are a little bit different. We do commence in the February and July of each year, and some programs have a November intake. So it's kind of like a delayed summer vacation for students starting in July, because you then have December, January, February off to enjoy. That's it from me. Thanks so much for listening in. This is my contact details, and I'd be more than happy to chat to you more about it.
Thank you. Next, you'll be hearing from Newcastle University.
Hi, my name is Thomas. I am the recruitment manager for North America here at Newcastle University. So we've gone completely back up to the Northern Hemisphere, to the UK, and precisely to the northeast of England, where we're located there where the red pin is. Newcastle is well known in the UK as being a very student-friendly city. It's a lively city, and it's well connected to lots of other parts of the UK by direct train. We are just under 3 hours by train from London, which is the gold star there down in the southeast. You can also fly to London in just under an hour. We're also only an hour and a half away from the capital of Scotland, Edinburgh, as well. And the international airport that is named after the city is just 20 minutes outside of the campus. And from there, you can fly to 80 different destinations across Europe and also further afield, including to the Middle East. Newcastle is often ranked as one of the best student cities in the UK, and that's actually in the top 50 best student cities in the world. It's, however, not an expensive place to study or live, and is actually one of the most affordable student cities in the UK. It's a great place to consider starting your career. It's a hub for innovation, for technology, advanced manufacturing, and the arts. And as I said, it's very lively, but still quite compact. You can pretty much walk across the whole of the city in around about 30 minutes. If you want to get out of the city and enjoy some of the beautiful outdoors, then we're surrounded by wonderful countryside on 3 sides. And then off to the east, we've got some incredible beaches. Newcastle is also home to some fantastic architecture. And in the wider northeast region, there's lots of brilliant historical architecture to discover. We actually have more castles in the northeast than anywhere else in England. This is just some of the examples of the architecture and the sights and sounds and things that there are to do and see in the city and in the wider region. We're very lucky that our beautiful campus is located right in the heart of the city. So most of our teaching buildings and facilities are located in one of those 2 gold shapes there. And that also includes most of our accommodation as well. Most of our students who live in our accommodation are either on campus or within a short walk of campus. And then the grey rectangle area highlights the main part of the city. So you can see you really can just step off campus and be in the heart of the city. And so you really do get the best of both worlds in that sense. That is the main part of our campus, with our Students' Union building there in the foreground. Our history dates back to the 1830s, and so that is reflected in some of our wonderful old buildings. But we have also invested heavily in our campus and still do so at the moment. We've got other new buildings still being built, including our new engineering building. The ones you can see there on the screen, the top left is the National Centre for Data and Innovation, and in the bottom right, we have our School of Computer Science. In terms of our reputation and our rankings, we are ranked in the top 150 universities in the world, and we're actually in the top 70 when you specifically look at our research output and the quality of our research. And we're also a member of the Russell Group, which is often called the UK's version of the Ivy League and includes Oxford and Cambridge. In terms of our global ranking, just to give you an idea, we are ahead of places like UC Santa Barbara, UC Irvine, Texas A&M, Pittsburgh, Dartmouth, Arizona State, Tufts, Northeastern, and Georgetown. And in the UK, we're ranked in the top 20 universities with 13 subjects ranking in the top 10. And that includes subjects such as agriculture and forestry, art and design, creative writing, food science, Asian studies, communication and media studies, psychology, architecture, and sports science. Not only do we have excellent reputation for our teaching and our research, but we also make sure our graduates are employable, and we are one of the most targeted universities in the UK by leading employers, and we have a very high percentage of our graduates go on to find work or go into further study within just 6 months of graduating. We have around 27,000 students studying across our 3 faculties. We offer 200 bachelor's degrees and 300 master's degrees in a whole range of subjects. In the UK, professional degrees like law, medicine, dentistry, veterinary science are all bachelor's degrees, so students can study those straight out of high school. We don't offer veterinary science. However, within our National Environmental Sciences School, we do have animal science, which is a great pre-vet program if you're not able to get onto a vet science program, as well as our marine science course. And we actually have a research vessel and research base out at the sea. And medical sciences is the subject that we've taught for the longest, and it's the one of the ones that we're arguably most well known for. And we have a whole range of medical science programs as well. In terms of entry requirements, we're not test optional, but what we would probably call test flexible. So ideally, we would want students to apply with 3 APs, but we understand that might not be possible right now. So we would accept other standardized tests or dual enrollment credits, honors classes. It's basically have a look on the website at the course that you're interested in. And if you don't understand what's required of you in order to get admission to that program, then please get in touch and I can explain further. We have a whole range of support on campus from pre-application right through to post-graduation. That includes our health and wellbeing teams, our campus security, and our careers service, who are available up to 3 years after graduation if you need their help in looking for work, starting your own business, or anything else that they might be able to offer you assistance with. Our student union is also organizes all of our student societies and our sports clubs, and we're actually ranked top 10 in the UK for sports. So if you are a student athlete, definitely consider us. In terms of tuition, you're looking at around about $40,000 per year. But we do have scholarships, and we are also able to process federal loans as well. If you'd like to find out more, then our virtual activities are really useful, and you can also get in touch with me via my email address there, or you can scan the QR code to sign up for updates. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, you'll be hearing from the University of Aberdeen.
Hi there, everyone. So I'll just get this open. My name is Frances McBean, and I am one of the international recruitment officers for the University of Aberdeen. I'm actually covering this event for my colleague Amy, so it'll be her details at the end if you do wish to get in touch with ourselves. So we were founded in 1495. We are the 5th oldest university in the English-speaking world. So Scotland has a very, very rich heritage in education, and it actually has a lot of ancient universities. We have 14,500 students, so we would classify ourselves as a medium-sized university, and 34% of our students are international, coming from over 120 nationalities. So you really notice around the campus and also around the city how diverse and cultural both of them are. We have 350 undergraduate programs and 150 postgraduate programs. We're named in the top 10 most beautiful historic universities in the UK. And we also have our main campus, which is located just a short 20-minute walk from the city centre. So similar to what Thomas was saying just there about Newcastle, Aberdeen is very, very easy to cross by foot, probably about the same time, about half an hour to cross the city by foot. And we're located up in the northeast of Scotland. So in terms of our rankings, we've just highlighted a few here. So we're in the UK top 5 for overall student satisfaction, UK top 20 for the Guardian University Guide, and then the World Top 160. In terms of our accommodation, we offer both catered and self-catered. All bedrooms are private, so you never share a bedroom with someone, but you might need to share your bathroom. However, if you don't want to share, you can go for the ensuite accommodation. Our accommodation is also guaranteed for students applying for entry in first year, so you will have a guaranteed spot of accommodation, which is good to know. In terms of prices, these range from about £90 to £160 per week, and that's your total cost for accommodation. You don't have any additional charges on top of that. Obviously, the higher end of the budget there will be for the accommodation that maybe is the ensuite option or the catered option, because that will, of course, include your meal plan. We also have 24-hour-a-day security, 7 days a week. So whether you need to go and get any assistance at all, no matter what time of day or night it is, then you always know that there's someone there for you. Our accommodation is actually based about a 5-10 minute walk from the campus itself, but we do also offer a free shuttle bus. So you can jump on the bus and just show your student card, and that just loops around all day between the accommodation and the campus itself. Within the central building at Hill Head, which is what our accommodation block is known as, there is plenty of things that you can get involved with. So there's social spaces, there's a restaurant, there's a convenience store, there's a small kitchen as well. So if you wanted to maybe do cookery classes or things like that. So it's not just the building where the staff are located, it really is a place for students to be part of. So in terms of the university, all Scottish degrees are 4 years long. So that will obviously be quite familiar to yourselves if you are coming from the US. The university has 12 schools. I won't list all of them there, but you can just have a quick look over them. But we are very well known for the traditional types of courses, so things like law, medicine, engineering. Obviously, because we're located in the northeast of Scotland, engineering is a very big one for Aberdeen. But we do also have really diverse range of different courses. So we have things like music, we have a lot of languages, we also have things like literature, visual culture, film studies. So there's really a big range of courses on offers. So no matter what you're interested in, you'll be able to find something. Something that we tend to do in the Scottish university is we also offer joint degrees or joint honours. So you can actually choose to do 2 degrees alongside each other and come out with a joint honours degree. So you'd maybe study history and politics. So that's quite good as well if you have an interest in a couple of things. In terms of our entry requirements for undergraduate, for the MA, which stands for the Master of Arts, also known as Bachelor of Arts, we would be looking for a 3.0 GPA. And then we've just highlighted the different scores there for the SAT, ACT, and then 3 APs. And then on the other side there for our BScs, which would be the Bachelor of Science, so any degrees, for example, like the engineering, finance, those sorts of programs. Then again, we've just highlighted what we would be looking for. In terms of test optional, we are going to be test optional for 2022, and this will be reviewed for 2023. So it isn't guaranteed for students who would be applying for 2023, but it's definitely worth to keep an eye on our website and our communications, and you'll obviously get an update as to what will happen for the tests moving forward. And in terms of how to apply, you can apply via UCAS and also Common App. So whichever you have a preference over, you can choose to apply via either of those. And in terms of our tuition fees and scholarships for 2022 entry, we would be looking at about £18,500 up to £46,000, depending on what course you're interested in. So the higher end of the budget will be those courses that are very traditional and have a lot of sort of research focus, or maybe a lot of lab time. So things like medicine and law and engineering will be at the higher end of the budget there. But we do offer scholarships. So we have up to £4,000 scholarship in the first year, and you can also get £2,000 scholarships after those. And we do accept the US financial aid. It's a good thing to have a look at our website. You can just simply search funding in the search bar and it will actually pull up all of the different scholarships that are available. Some will be automatic, so you don't need to do anything. However, some will require an application. So it's good to give yourself that time if you need to do the application process. And here are Amy's details. So she is the regional manager for the Americas, and she obviously would be looking after yourselves tonight, but she's double booked. So I'm covering this event. But Amy has said she's more than happy to welcome any questions or queries that people may have. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, you'll be hearing from the University of Alberta.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, so my name is Jory and I'm representing the University of Alberta. So bringing you back to North America for a second, just coming to you north of the border in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. So Canada is quite a popular destination for US students who are looking for, an international education experience, but want to stay, within a similar time zone so they're able to connect easily back home, as well as we'll have short flights to visit on weekends or even holidays and things like that. So let's jump into the presentation here. So just looking at a couple of numbers, the University of Alberta is home to about 42,000 students from 159 different countries. So we are quite a diverse campus. We have over 300,000 alumni across the world. We are ranked among the top 5 universities in Canada and among the top 100 universities in the world. We are home to a 2020 Nobel Prize winner among other highly recognized faculty and staff. We have the first and only Native Studies faculty in North America. We rank number 2 in our global artificial intelligence research. So our computer internetworking and computing science programs are very popular, especially as of late. And we are ranked number 2 in Canada for our graduate employment rate. We'll talk about this in a second, but basically University of Alberta graduates are getting jobs almost immediately after graduation. And a large part of that is to the co-op, work experience, and other career-related programs that we have on our campus. So bringing you to main campus, this is known as North Campus. We have about 36,000 of our students that study here, offering more than 200 undergrad programs and more than 500 master's and PhD program options. There's really some sort of program really for anyone. Then we have 2 secondary campuses. We have our campus Saint Jean, which is entirely Francophone, and our Augustana campus, which is more of a liberal arts sciences campus. We are located in the city of Edmonton. Edmonton is the capital of Alberta. And Alberta is known as being Canada's energy province. So we are home to Canada's energy sector. So a lot of big global companies headquartered in Alberta, specifically in the energy environment. We are kind of known as the Texas of Canada. So a lot of similar industries in Alberta, as you would see in Texas, related to oil and gas and other energy related fields. We are also very lucky to be very close to the Canadian Rocky Mountains, just 3 hours away. So if students get to go on the weekends or even through the week for day trips to go skiing, hiking, snowboarding, or just to escape the city and see kind of the picturesque Canadian mountain landscape. Within the city, we are also home to the largest shopping mall in North America. That's what you see on the screen here with the World Water Park. We also have restaurants, bars, nightlife, all different types of things to do. We are also known as Canada's Festival City with more than 50 festivals coming through the city every year. Moving on to campus, like I said, we have about 36,000 students on North Campus, but average class size is still only about 38 students per class. And we do graduate over 8,000 students every year. As far as campus life, we have more than 450 different student clubs students can participate in. That's sports teams, that's hobby groups, that's political advocacy or governance groups. So really a wide range of different student clubs, volunteering, different options for students to engage while they're on our campus. We also have tons of facilities for students to use, 2 swimming pools, rock climbing centers, fitness centers, things like that. Students are able to live on campus, and first-year students are guaranteed a space in our residence. All of our residences do include a meal plan option, so you wouldn't have access to a full kitchen, but typically you'd have access to a all-you-can-eat dining hall. This is what a first-year dorm room would look like. So a bed, desk, and behind the photo, there's 2 dressers or 2 closet spaces and a vanity space to store personal items. Okay, so career success, we are ranked number 87th in the world and number 2 in Canada for our postgraduate employment rate. A big part of that is due to our co-op programs and paid work experience options. So every single one of our faculties and programs at the University of Alberta does offer some sort of a work experience option for students interested in gaining work experience while they're earning their degree. So that can range anywhere between 12 to 16 months of paid work experience while they're studying to again, kind of build their resume so that they're more competitive in the job market after graduation. We also have career centers and career advisors across the campus that help them with cover letter writing, resume building, and prepping for interviews as well. As far as working in Canada on a study permit, you are able to work part-time and you are able to stay in Canada for 3 years after graduation on a postgraduate work permit. Starting in Alberta is nice because we do have the highest average salary across all of Canada. As far as funding, so we do offer more than $34 million in financial support and scholarships. What's nice is there's only one application and a student is considered for every scholarship that we offer. We are also accredited to accept FAFSA direct loans. So our scholarships are divided into 2 types. We have automatically awarded scholarships that are given with the admission offer, just based on a student's grades, faculty, and where they're coming from. So we do have a United States Excellence Scholarship, $5,000 just for students applying from the US. Then we have our leadership-based awards, which are a higher value, up to $120,000 for the President's Scholarship and $10,000 for each leadership award. These ones you do have to apply for separately, and the deadline this year is January 12th. As far as tuition, so we, depending on program, it will range between $22,000 to $32,000 US dollars per year. Add another about $10,000 per year if you do plan to live in residence, and that does include your meal plan. As far as faculties and programs, we have over 250 different degree options. Applications are open now. We are SAT optional. There are no personal statements, recommendations, or essays required. And if you are interested in applying, my contact information can be found on the screen here. And with that, I will hand it back to Anna.
Thank you. Next, you'll be hearing from the University of Glasgow.
All right. Hi, everybody. How's it going? Go ahead and get this in full screen here. This goes. All right. Hi. Apologies you not get the Scottish accent from me, but you got it from Francis, so we're all set on that. My name is Jay Shanlin. I'm with the University of Glasgow. I've been with the University of Glasgow for about 4 years. I'm actually our Northeast and Midwest officer. We are currently hiring for Texas. So hopefully we'll get that position filled soon. But I recruit all students. So currently I am the person for Texas that you will reach out to, but we recruit all students. So undergrad, study abroad, postgrad, you name it, we recruit all of them. So thanks for being here. So the University of Glasgow was founded in 1451. We're an ancient Scottish university. We are the 4th oldest English-speaking university in the entire world behind Oxford, Cambridge, and St. Andrews. We're a top 100 university in the world. We are actually 72nd in the QS World Rankings for 2021. We are 92nd for Times Higher Education's ranking. We are 29th most international university in the world. So again, I'm getting at we're a top 100 university. We're going to be 33,000 students from over 140 different countries. Of the 33,000, about 21,000 are going to be undergraduate students. We are half Scottish students and half international students. Students from the United States is about 750 total, which will encompass all undergrad, master's, PhD, study abroad students. So again, we're only 2% US. I always tell students when you're looking to go overseas, how American do you want to feel? Do you want to go to school that has a larger US population or a school where you can have a much smaller US population? We are located in Glasgow, so we're located in Scotland. Scotland is voted one of the most beautiful country in the world in 2019. What I love is that people think of Scotland as the lush rolling hills, the beautiful countryside, the picturesque views. What you definitely get here, this is Loch On. A loch is just a lake, just that you all know, and this is about 35 minutes from campus. These people on the other taking a picture, they're doing what they call a hill walk, which I would not consider this a hill. So just be prepared when people say a hill walk that you will be going on a much larger walk than a hill walk. But what I love is, again, if you're looking for to be able to climb mountains, go on highland adventures, that's all going to be available to you. But we are really located in the city of Glasgow. Glasgow was voted one of the best cities in the world in 2019. It is the 4th most affordable for students in the United Kingdom. Second largest city in the UK behind, Scotland's largest city. People think Edinburgh is the largest city, but it is going to be Glasgow is the largest city. We have over 9 different parks, and it's great because Glasgow actually stands for Deer Green Place. So as much as we are a city, there are tons of parks and greenery. So if you're looking to get some of that while you're in the city, you're going to be able to see that there. We're also a UNESCO City of Music, which means we offer 200 live music events a week pre-COVID. That could be something as simple as a 4-string quartet or something as big as Kanye West is coming to town. Also the Hydro, which is the green colored building on this screen, is the 2nd busiest arena in the world. In pre-COVID. But we're located in Glasgow's West End. So it's called the West End is what the neighborhood is. It's going to be, I would say, 12 minutes from the city center. So it's great that, it's great that we get a campus life within a city. The West End is going to be the posh end where the university is. But my favorite part of the West End, you can read on the screen, but my favorite part is going to be Ashton Lane, which is this photo behind you. As you can see, Ashton Lane is a pedestrian-only street with the people walking down the street. And you can see that it's lined with restaurants, pubs, and shops. And I love the fact that, imagine this during the holiday season with the twinkling lights, and you can just go there. This is literally 200 feet behind campus. You can just go there and just take in all of Glasgow. And we're trying to get to the next slide. Perfect. But here's an aerial shot of the university. As I said, we're located in the West End. And as you'll see here, the first building you see is the main building designed by Sir George in the 1800s. It is a quintessential Glasgow landmark. It's pretty much in all of our publications. In this building will be most of our colleges of arts and social sciences. Our School of Business, Adam Smith, who's the founder of Modern Day Economics, went to Glasgow. So econ, finance, business, marketing, management, all very big at Glasgow. Also, there's our School of Law. If you go right across the street 5 minutes, you'll get to the library. I'm assuming we all know what a library is for, but on the 13th story is going to be our special collections, which is currently housing Shakespeare's manuscripts. So I've literally been in the presence of Shakespeare's manuscripts, which is pretty cool. And it's a great shot, photo of the main building from the 13th story if you're looking to get a good shot of that. But the building I want to talk to you about is the Fraser Building. This is our student resources building. This is your one-stop shop. On the 4th floor is one of our dining hall options. On the 3rd floor is our Office of International Student Support, Visa Support, Career Services, and the Financial Aid Office. And then on the 2nd floor is our doctor's office and bookstore. So I love the fact that there's a great one-stop shop. If you're a student and you have a question, we say the Fraser Building is probably your first stop. But this is essentially campus. So again, you get a campus vibe within a city. Subject areas, it's easier for me to tell you what we do not offer. We do not offer anything in visual performing arts. So it's going to be in acting, singing, fashion design, which that will not be for us. But pretty much we have everything, anything else you're looking for, we probably have a combination of. We are number 1 in the UK for veterinary medicine and for dentistry. We're tied to number 2 with medicine and law. Our engineering programs are also very strong. STEM is very strong in the UK for us. And again, in education, I think we're number 2 in the UK currently. Now, in Scotland, we are 4-year degrees. What's great is that in the UK, there is no undeclared major. So if you're someone who knows what they want to go into, it's going to be a good fit for you. As you can see, this is a physics major. And in the first year, we give you 2 additional areas of study to kind of test the waters between, or think of that as your minor, even though we don't give out minors technically. And again, just taking a more focused deep dive into your field of study here. Entry requirements, we're looking for a 1280 SAT or a 27 ACT, and then 2 AP exams of a 4 or above and relevant fields to your program. We're also going to be test flexible for this year for students that were unable to take the ACT or SAT. But again, if you keep in mind, if you're taking any STEM courses, you're going to be looking to have those placement exams. And then finally, we do offer scholarships. They're going to be £5,000 a piece. You need to score 5 on the AP exams to receive it. And that is going to be that. This is my contact details. Feel free to take a photo of the screen or scan the QR code at the bottom.
Thank you. Lastly, you'll be hearing from the University of Warwick.
Hey, thanks so much, Anna, and thanks to everybody for coming today. My name is Sarah, and I represent the University of Warwick. And Warwick is a highly selective campus university, and we're located right in the heart of England. So academically, Warwick challenges universities that are hundreds of years older than us. So we're only just over 50 years old ourselves, but we're consistently rated in the top 10 universities in the UK and the top 100 worldwide, with many of our subjects really rated right at the top of their game. We're a member of the Russell Group, which is a group of 24 research-intensive UK universities. And so that means that our students enjoy learning from experts right at the cutting edge of their field. But I should say that we're really well known for teaching as well. We've just been voted best university in the UK for our teaching quality by the Sunday Times and the Times Good University Guide. As well as offering 3-year bachelor's degrees that might focus on a specific, really focused subject area, we also offer broader programs such as liberal arts and global sustainable development. And they draw on expertise from across the university to help students to look at issues from different disciplinary perspectives. But Warwick students don't typically just value our academic reputation. We're a really diverse and very inclusive campus community that provides support and an abundance of opportunities outside of academic studies. So our students typically thrive not only on exploring their academic program, but also our campus, which feels a little bit like a mini city with the wealth of extracurricular activities that we have on offer. Warwick Students' Union, they run around 250 different student organisations, plus also around about 65 sports clubs. Giving back, activism, exploring new things, they're all really, really popular with Warwick students. And I should say that our students don't just join societies as members. Many, particularly towards the end of their degree, will really have an appetite for taking on leadership challenges and leadership opportunities as well. So as an example of that, Warwick Economics Summit is one of the largest annual student-led conferences in Europe. This is organised and brought together solely by Warwick students, and you can see from the range of speakers that they brought together for the most recent forum that our students really are go-getters in terms of reaching out, building networks, finding opportunities and making things happen. And that's even before they've graduated and then go on to greater things as well. So Warwick is a suburban campus. We're located on the edge of the city of Coventry, which is a medium-sized English city. From Coventry, it's super easy to travel around the UK and Europe. And as one of my colleagues says, which I think is really accurate, we're right in the middle of everywhere, easy to get around to everywhere. With our access to Coventry and Birmingham, students can easily enjoy city life. But for those that are keen to explore the area around the university, we're surrounded by historical towns, stunning castles, and the birthplace of William Shakespeare, that's also home to the Royal Shakespeare Company as well. So we have a housing guarantee for on-campus housing for first-year students. And for the second and third year, Warwick Accommodation, our housing office, run a site called Warwick Student Pad. And that helps students to transition to private housing in the local area that's been vetted and inspected by the university. So we really do support students in their growth and transition towards independent living. So at the end of their degree, they're confident to really go off and explore new opportunities. Tuition varies by programme and is typically lower for arts and social sciences than for STEM. Warwick and the surrounding area have really reasonable costs of living compared to some of the bigger cities in the UK. And the costs shown here are just a very approximate guide, but would hopefully give you an idea of amounts for 1 year. And so just treble that for 3 years to figure out rough costs for the duration in total. Now, we believe there should be no barrier to talent. So that's why we're committed to offering a scholarship that makes it easier for gifted, ambitious international learners to pursue their academic interests with us. So for 2021, we offered 250 tuition fee awards based on academic merit. And we're really excited to be running this again for 2022. And we're currently discussing the number and value of awards that we'll have on offer for this. For admission, we publish our IB diploma requirements on each of our programme pages on our website. And for students on a US high school curriculum or taking other international qualifications, we use an equivalency system to our UK A-level requirements. So that typically translates to a minimum of 3 AP tests ranging between 544 to 555. Students don't need to have achieved those test scores already before they apply. So for students in their senior year, if you're planning to take AP tests in May and you're on track to achieve these scores by the end of grade 12, I definitely hope that you'd be considering us as one of your university choices. In addition to academic qualifications, the personal statement, the recommendation letter, and predicted scores for senior year are crucial components of the application. If you'd like to know more about the application process, the personal statement, which would be very different to the type of statement and essays that you would be writing for a US college, I definitely encourage you to check out my self-serve Padlet of resources, and I'll be sharing a link to this in the chat, so you'll be able to just click on that and open that as a new window. Through the Padlet, you'll also be able to link through to our virtual open house, which is running right now, and we're partway through it this week. We'll have students and faculty available throughout at the end of this week. And everybody who signs up will get access to the recording. So if you see something that you've missed earlier in the week, you'll be able to access that later. And with that said, I'll hand back to Anna. Thanks so much for listening.
Thank you. So we have a little bit of time left. So I'd just like to invite everyone to come back on, and we'll do a round of Q&A. And I'll just ask you all to share in the same order you presented in. What advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we'll start with Newcastle University.
So I think, as we've pointed out in the UK, when you apply to university, you apply to the major that you want to study, and you can't apply undeclared. So it does change a little bit the way that you might think about where you want to apply, because you're not necessarily looking purely at the institution, but you're also thinking about the subject in a lot more detail. And it is pretty unheard of to change majors once you're on your degree in the UK. So you do need to be really confident with the subject that you've chosen, that it is the right one for you.
Yeah, sort of quite similar, but again, there's other things to think about when you're applying to university. Think about what sort of place you want to live in. If you're maybe quite happy living in a big city and being surrounded by a lot of people, then you might want to take that into account, or think about maybe slightly smaller universities in smaller towns or cities around Scotland or the rest of the UK. And again, the sort of social life side of it. I mean, obviously the education is the sort of main thing of going to university, but looking at the clubs and societies and the things that you can get involved with in the city is always really good, because it's a big chunk of your life. It's 4 years in Scotland and 3 years in the rest of the UK. So make sure you're taking into account the other things that you'll be doing whilst you're studying at university, whilst you're making your choice.
So for me, the advice I always like to give is it's definitely overwhelming. So don't kid yourself in that it's not. You're not the only one. Everyone is overwhelmed from that transition from high school to university. So my suggestion would be to engage with the universities that you're looking for. Most schools will have a representative that is more than happy to, connect with you, answer questions. There are no stupid questions. Reach out to us. We'll meet up with you. Most of us have studied at the institutions that you're looking at, so we might even have personal stories we can tell and kind of that firsthand student experience. So I would say engage with the reps. We want to talk to you as much as you might want to talk to us.
Yeah, advice would definitely be, go international. No, as someone who's from the States and went to school in the States, and I've been doing this job for over a decade, definitely I think, and I did not study at Glasgow, but the big thing is that if you can go internationally, you definitely should, because it's a completely different experience, but in the best way possible.
Yeah, and I guess the only point that I would add is that sometimes for some students, they might not necessarily feel ready in grade 12 to make that decision of where they want to go, and they might actually not feel ready to make that jump to go to university. And what I would say is that certainly with studying in the UK, it's really common here for students to have gap years. It's, you're not disadvantaged by doing that at all. And so for some students that, might not be ready, you don't have to make that leap. And if for any reason you started in the US and then you decide later, actually, this isn't for me, you'll still always have opportunities to apply to the UK in that situation as well. So, and I say that having gone to a university because my parents pushed me to when I was 18. I wasn't ready. I dropped out after two weeks, and then took what I call my accidental gap year, and then spent the next year reapplying and researching, and having that break from education gave me time and gave me perspectives on what I enjoyed, so I could make a stronger application.
Well, thank you all so much for sharing, and thank you everyone for joining us. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide, and you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the other sessions recordings at strivescan.com/Texas. So thanks again, everyone. Have a good rest of your evening. Bye.